everybody. What you should be able to understand by the end of today's video is how to find a unit vector in the same direction as a given vector. And what I'd like to do today is go through example 44 from your homework because it involves all of the good things: rationalizing, simplifying, and finding a unit vector. So let's get started. I know that this vector, 6i minus 2j, is in linear combination form, and if you're uncomfortable with that, let's go ahead and rewrite this in component form, because this might be easier to do when we use our unit vector formula. So recall from class that you can find any unit vector if you take the vector and you divide it by its magnitude. So the first thing I'd like to do, since I already have my vector, is find the magnitude of this vector. So if I want to find the magnitude of vector v, what I need to do is take the square root of 6 squared, our horizontal component, and add it to negative 2 squared, our vertical component. When I simplify this, I get 36 plus 4, which is equal to the square root of 40, and you know it's one of these good radicals that we can simplify. So I'm going to go ahead and use my factor tree method, and I'm going to break this down into the factors 4 and 10, 2 and 2, and 10, I can break it down to 5 and 2. It's not super helpful, so I'm going to go ahead and leave 10. And I know I have a pair here, so I could rewrite the square root of 40 as 2 times 2 times 10, which really simplifies to be 2 rad 10. And remember, that represents our magnitude. So if I go back up, I have my vector, I have my magnitude. Let's use this in the unit vector formula. So I am going to take my vector, 6, negative 2, and I'm going to divide it by 2 square root 10. This is the first step of many beautiful steps that we get to do to simplify. So let me break this down into 6 over 2 square root of 10, negative 2 over 2 square root of 10. You can choose to rationalize this now, but I prefer to simplify before I do anything. And right away I recognize that 6 divided by 2 is really just 3. And I know that I'm left with the square root of 10. And if I look over here, this negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. And I have the square root of 10 in my denominator. Last but not least, I'm going to rationalize this fraction. And remember, if you want to rationalize something, we need to multiply by rad 10 over rad 10. You don't have to show this if you are already on rationalizing autopilot, but when you do simplify this, what you should end up with is 3 rad 10 over 10, negative rad 10 over 10. Smiley face, you're happy, you're simple. The fractions might be messy, but this is a unit vector in the same direction as the vector we started with. Have a wonderful evening. See you tomorrow.